Okay, what I like to do in this session is lay out a process called the ABCs of behavior. And it's a way to look at preparation and establishing a foundation for accomplishing an end result, and also for changing behavior. A is antecedent. Antecedent. And in anything you're starting, if you look at this kind of a process, it helps. Antecedent means prior. So anything that occurs prior to the behavior would be antecedent. And so some of the things that are antecedent, one is telling. Telling is antecedent. See, a lot of times people really don't know what is expected. And so you got to tell them, and then you tell them you told them. Then you send them a memo. And then you get feedback. Do you understand what I'm saying? Second thing that's antecedent is showing. Showing is antecedent. There's no way in the world you're going to convince other people to do something if you're not doing it yourself. It would be absolutely ridiculous for me to go into a prison and talk to inmates about practicing dishonesty and me going in there acting dishonest myself or doing something that would be dishonest. That would be totally ridiculous. So showing is antecedent. If you're asking other people to participate and cooperate, you should be doing it yourself. If you're asking other people to have empathy and treat people with dignity and respect, you should be doing it yourself. So showing is antecedent. The other thing that should be antecedent is standards. Standards or expectations. I work with all kinds of organizations, and I work with people who are doing training, and they never really establish any kind of standards or expectations in the group before they start. You know, they'll let one or two people disrupt a whole class, and because there's no standards, no expectations. So all of these things are antecedent. And then you have the beginning of a process of behavior. So you have behavior here. And if the behavior is positive, then over here you've got consequences. Consequences or feedback. Feedback. In every situation, there should be benefits. Benefits from the right kind of behavior. Benefits. And in every situation, there's consequences for the inappropriate behavior. So now feedback should be timely, it should be specific, and it should lay out the process of change. So if the behavior is positive, then obviously the feedback should be positive. You should be just as concerned about catching people doing things right as you are at catching people doing things wrong. We have a tendency to spend a lot of time catching people doing things wrong. And they'll do it right for 2 years and we catch them doing it wrong and never give them any feedback when they're doing it right. Now if the behavior is negative, then the feedback needs to change. And you stop the behavior and the feedback should be stop, that's not right, the next time try it this way. And so you take the behavior and you paint a picture of how to do it right. Stop, the next time do it this way. Stop, I see you as being, so you paint a picture of what it is that you want, not what you don't want. That we have a tendency to paint pictures of what we don't want, and we keep getting it over and over and over. Now if you have threatened consequences, then you should implement the consequence. There's no way in the world that you can make wrong right. If the behavior is wrong, you can't make it right because of who the person is or their position. Wrong is wrong. So the consequences need to be fair, firm, and consistent. But the feedback needs to, if the behavior is inappropriate, you stop the behavior and paint a picture of how to do it right. And if you don't know how to do it right, then find out how to do it right. You know, you do it with your children. Stop, you're better than that. The next time, do it this way. And if you do that properly and you do it over time, gradually and incrementally the behavior begins to change. But it's important to lay out the antecedent, and it's important that you have feedback on the behavior and that you make the feedback appropriate, that you paint a picture of how to do it right. not how to do it wrong. And with children, it's easy to forget that.